this?
Sure. There are vendors out there who use the various screening tools. One tool is called the SASE,
Substance abuse, subtle screening inventory.
Substance Abuse Subtle Screening Inventory. You can purchase those, and a lot of employers do. A lot of states are doing it now. And I don't recall the state. There is one state also that's asking its JFS department to come up with its own screening mechanism. But the bottom line is, there are experts out there who know how to create the screenings, and I know the SASE folks, for example, claim a 90 or 92% success rate with their screening intensity.
Is it a questionnaire?
Yeah, theirs is a questionnaire.
So they're gonna have to pee in a cup or not?
Pardon?
Are people gonna have to pee in a cup? Or do they just do
Oh,
it on, just fill out a
Only
form
if they
online?
flunk the questionnaire part, the screening part.
Who pays for that during test then?
Well, if they fail, I'm not going to ask the taxpayer to pay for a failed drug test. But the state would pick up, the cost of that, if it's a urine test, and as well as the screening, the initial screening.
Do you have an idea of how much it would cost to purchase these, these questionnaires or these like tests and just state or like the school kind of thing?
You know, when you compare it to the money we're spending on, presumably it's on the evidence that we're seeing here, the money that's going to illegal drugs, it'll be an intense savings. We've been talking to the SASE folks, trying to, I don't want to negotiate on behalf of Job and Family Services, that will be their job after this becomes law, but we've been trying to get an idea from them. It's very affordable, other states are doing it, other states are using it successfully. And that's if we use a commercial product.
Right. Do you have a sort of number though, at least of what other states have paid for or like Ohio SUV paying for it?
Not offhand,
I don't know, but to then you understand, I mean, this basically is a pilot program. It's going to be 3 counties, hopefully a large county, a medium-sized county, and a small county. So then we should be able to get our own data, what it's costing us or what we're saving. But the most important thing to remember, right now, if someone is addicted to drugs, they may be getting the money, they might be giving it to the drug dealer, and your family is still suffering. This is to take care of the families and to get help for the person who is addicted to drugs. This is an epidemic in the country, it's an epidemic in Ohio. We know it, it's time to address it and make sure that these children don't have to live in this cycle of poverty that they can never get out of. We get them the needed services that they need and get the fellow or the woman off of drugs. All society benefits.
Question, you mentioned that the money is going to drug dealers. How does the benefit get to the drug dealer when it's usually given a debit card?
Do you want to take
Well,
that first?
I can't speak for everything, but everyone, but I know a lot of people take these cards and they sell them, 50 cents on the dollar, and this happens. It's documented on a lot of TV programs, news reports I've seen. If this goes into effect, or when this goes into effect, this will go to the person that needs it. Again, it's the children and the other spouse. This is so important, and try to get that into everybody's mind. This is not punitive. This is not trying to punish anybody. This is trying to get the resources of Ohio to the people who need it. And I think equally important is to get the person who is addicted help. Because you can get off drugs, but you need help. And we'll know a lot more after a couple of years when this pilot program gives us the numbers that we really need to see.
Which counties have signed on to be part of this pilot program?
Crawford County has volunteered, and we're talking to another county that has not officially agreed yet, but they're very excited. And I have a feeling that we'll have some others standing in line as well, especially after I look at the verbatims from the Job and Family Service Workers survey.
Will they be spelled out in the bill, the 3 counties?
No, not in the bill.
You mentioned, Representative Maag, that if you look at stories of folks who take part in solving, do you have any sense of how often that occurs in Ohio or what the cost would be on the state?
No, I do not. I probably could do a little bit more research on that, but I started seeing these reports, on the local news in the Cincinnati area. I've seen it on national news also. I can't give you the percentage, but if it's one family, it's too many.
Just be clear, this would apply only to work service and not stand for Medicaid.
That's correct, as a federal law and rules.
And how would the payee, the Pacific payee work into this? Would they get screened as well, or can you describe what the process would be for that person?
We'll leave that process up to JFS to create the rules. I would certainly anticipate that they would be trustworthy institution or individual that the JFS will assess.
But there's nothing in here that would create the same kind of.
No, we're not creating an intense bureaucracy to, have all kinds of different levels of testing and all kinds of individuals. We want to take care of the problem that we know is right before us and trust our professionals in the JFS system to make sure that we're finding folks that will either people or institutions, organizations, be responsible for that money for the family.
What drugs will you be looking for? Are we only talking about illegal drugs? Are legal drugs going to be part of the mix? And with the marijuana proposal this November, if that should pass, would marijuana also be something that would disqualify someone?
Illegal drugs, period.
So this would not get to abuse of opiate painkillers or something like that there?
Illegal drugs. If you are accessing opiate painkillers illegally, that's part of it.
Other states that have tried this, some of them have reported very low numbers of people that they've caught actually using drugs to the point that they're wondering if it's financially worth it. Respond to that.
Great question. There are a lot of states, like you said, by our count, 13 who have passed this legislation and have a program, some sort of program like this rolled out. If you look at Utah, the devil's in the details. Utah says they've saved already in the first year about $369,000. And if you look at just the few folks that tested positive that they were denied benefits, those individuals denied benefits, it would be hard probably to extrapolate $369,000. But if you look at the folks who did not come back, once they found out there was a drug screening and a drug test, and they didn't come back to complete the application process, that was almost 12% of the people who applied, who started the application process. 554 to be exact, out of 4,730. So I believe most states are benefiting from identifying folks who have terminated the application process. Now, it's unfortunate that they voluntarily terminated their own application process because we want to get those folks, if that happens here in Ohio, we want to get those folks in treatment. But, this is the first step. This is the big first step in trying to identify these folks, get them in treatment, and saving the taxpayer money is important, but that's not the only goal here. I think we will save untold millions by getting these families healed and getting them back into the economy, back into the natural economy. That's really the ultimate goal here. It's not to be punitive, like Ron was saying, we're not here to put punitive measures in the law or anything like that. We want to make sure we're healing these families, and we work with the stakeholders, a lot of the organizations, we work with these folks, the State Job and Family Services Department, the Ohio Association of Job and Family Service Directors. We want to make sure that we have people completing the application process so they can help. But to answer the direct answer to your question is Utah had 11.7% not come back to finish the process and refused to take a drug test. I know Florida had similar numbers several years ago, a few years ago. 21,000 applicants, 108 were positive, which is 2.6%, but 1,597, 7.6%, did not come back in Florida. So I think that's where the real detail to pay attention to is. It's not just those positive results, but also those who refused, who knew they were dirty, or, maybe they got a job. Maybe they got a job the next day. We don't know the reason why.
So following up on that, you said this isn't punitive, but those people who don't go through the process because they're afraid they can't pass the drug test, and they don't have a job, but maybe they do have children, maybe they do have someone depending on that money. Is there something in this bill that catches them or somehow checks up on them to make sure that the people who depend on that person are taken care of?
My guess is they will send another family member, or they found a job, or were motivated to find a job, even more so, and they realized they didn't want to fess up that they might be dirty and want the drug test. The important thing here is these families right now presumably are not getting the money that's available in town, just from their own private resources. If there's illegal drug abuse going on in that family, somebody's paying for it. Somebody is paying for it. Somebody is using cash to purchase those drugs. This bill represents a huge first step to identify those families, get the abuser in treatment, get the money to the kids that you and I pay for, and we want the kids to have. This is a huge step forward. There'll be a lot of particulars, a lot of ins and outs that we'll need to work on. There's no doubt about that. That's what we're also going to depend on our job and family services professionals and the state of Ohio to help us with. When they make the rules.
How many people are on Ohio Works First?
It's about 105, I think that's 115, 115,000. I think about 95,000 of those, give or take, are children.
Are children going to be tested?
Oh, no, not children, no, just the applicants. But of the Ohio Works First current enrollees, people benefiting, family members benefiting, 95,000 are children today.
And how does you mentioned unemployment benefit, will that be part of the bill, or is that something you're looking at doing once the federal?
That'll be part of the bill, simply enabling legislation that will allow us to participate with the federal government and enable our rules. And again, that only applies to two classes of folks. One is those who've been fired already for illegal drug use. Clearly, they ought to be tested before they get the benefit of that employer's unemployment tax. And then the other for key jobs that are screened already or should be screened for illegal drug use.
Are there any other groups of people that you can see this benefiting, you talked about Ohio Works First. I think food stamp recipients is kind of off the table for federal rules, but are there any other kind of categories or groups of folks that you might look to expand?
Unless something happens in the courts or the federal government changes its orientation of things, changes their rules, I believe everything else is off the table. But these two programs are.
Can you explain the treatment aspect of this? So people know you apply, you get a questionnaire, you fail that, you get a urine test, you fail that. What happens to this person?
At that point, the local caseworker that applicant is working with will initiate the process to find a protected payee. The cash will still flow to the family, just not to the drug abuser. And then they'll pull the drug abuser off to the side for counseling, get them enrolled in a counseling program there locally. So everybody wins. It's a win-win for everybody.
Do they have to agree to this counseling in order to get the benefit for the family?
If we haven't addressed it, I'm sure we can work that out in the committee process, but my understanding was that the family can still be getting the benefits. But the whole key here is to make sure the benefits go to the right person, so we can keep that family together and get the treatment to the person who needs treatment. And if we made a little mistake, please.
So right now you're not sure if getting the
I
benefit.
thought it was, but
I think the intent is for the children and the dependents of the family to continue to get help, the help from the department. We just got to make sure that mechanism is in place to make sure that they're not standards. That's one of the off-ramps. This is going to have dozens of off-ramps, little contingencies, little unique situations that we've got to make sure that are taken care of either in the bill